بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طالباتي العزيزات، أتمنى أن تكونوا جميعا بخير وعافية. راح أبدأ معكم سلسلة من المحاضرات الفيديوية استكمالا للمحاضرات السابقة اللي كانت بصيغة المحاضرة الورقية. So if we start with lecture number 5, which is entitled Stress in Simple Words. This lecture starts from page 77. After dealing with two-syllable words, I mean to stress words that are of two syllables, now it's time to talk about words with three syllables, which is a little bit more complicated than dealing with two-syllable words. However, I'll try my best to give you some of the tips and rules that you may make use of when trying to put stress on the correct syllable. Again, as we did with two-syllable words, we need to deal with verbs individually, then with nouns and adjectives. So if we start with verbs, till now we are dealing with words, سواء verbs or nouns or adjectives that are simple. And what do you mean by simple is that there are no affixes added to the verb. It is only the base form of the verb. Okay? No additions, no affixes, no prefixes, no infixes, and no suffixes. So, as we did with two-syllable words, in verbs we have a general rule that says stress tends to be to the right hand side of the word. It means that we should start with the final syllable, then the one before the final, then we go to the first syllable. We will use the same technique. So generally, the rule says, sorry, if the final syllable is strong, give it stress. But what if the final syllable is not strong? If the final syllable is not strong, leave it unstressed and give stress to the syllable before the final one. If it is strong, not stressed. If it is strong. So again, we start looking at the last syllable, the final syllable. If it is strong, I mean the rhyme is a strong, has a strong structure in terms of the vowel and what comes after the vowel, the consonant under the coda, give it stress. If it is not, leave it and go back to the syllable before the final one and give it stress on condition that it is strong. If not, I mean if the final syllable and the one before the final are both weak, leave them unstressed and give stress to the first syllable if it is strong. If it is strong. So again, the direction is from the right to the left, from the final syllable until you reach the first syllable. This is with verbs. Now, if we take these examples, the verb entertain. So how many syllables do we have here? 1, 2, 3 syllables. Now we start looking at the final one. This is the rule, because entertain is a verb. In this verb, the final syllable is strong with the diphthong A. So directly give it stress, and that's all. But if we have a verb just like the verb encounter, also 3 vowels, 3 syllables, as you can see here. Now, look at the final syllable. The final syllable has a rhyme structure that consists of a schwa, which is, as you know, the weakest sound in English, the weakest vowel. So we cannot give the stress to a weak syllable like t with schwa. So what do? We go back to the one before the final and check if it is strong or weak. So now you can see that here we have a strong syllable, kaun, kaun. So we have the diphthong, ow, plus the consonant sound, n. So is this strong? Of course, it is strong. So we give it the stress, as you can see here. This is the mark of a stressed syllable. The mark of a stressed syllable. Now, if we go to the third example, which is parody, parody. So this word also has 3 syllables, 3 vowels, 3 syllables. Now we go to the final syllable as the rule recommends. We can see that we have here a short vowel E, which is a weak vowel, so we do not stress it. We go to the one before the final one, which is ra, with a schwa. Again, this is not normally stressed. So we go to the pa, which has a stronger vowel, a stronger syllable. That's why we give it stress. We give stress to the first syllable. So all options are possible. The first option, to have the final syllable stressed, is possible. Another option, in which we have the one before the final is stressed, is also possible. And a third option, in which the first syllable is stressed, is also possible. Okay? Now, these are the rules related to verbs. What are the rules related to nouns? If you remember, when we dealt with nouns with 2 syllables, we start counting syllables or considering them from left to right, not from right to left. So we first look at the first syllable and see if it is strong or not. So with regard to nouns, the tendency is to give stress to the first syllable if it is strong. This is the condition. If it is strong, okay, give it stress and move on. If the first syllable is weak, we go to the second syllable and give it stress if it is strong. So, if the first syllable is strong, okay, stress it. If it is not, go to the second syllable. If it is strong, give it stress. If it is weak, go to the third. But here we need to pay attention, please. If the first and the second syllable are weak and the last one is strong, we don't normally stress the final one. So what do? We go back to the first and give it stress. So in nouns, we can give a rule that says the last syllable in a noun, in a 3-syllable noun, cannot be stressed at all, either the first or the second. So we have 2 options here, not like verbs. In verbs we have 3 options. The final can be stressed, the one before the final can be stressed, the first one can be stressed. Here in nouns, either the first or the second is stressed, but we start with the first, as you know. Okay? Now, look at this example. The word quantity. Quantity. So quantity is a noun. That's why when we want to give it stress, we start with the first syllable. That is quan. Here we have an o plus the coda sound consonant n. That's why the syllable is strong. So we give it the stress, as we can see here. Okay? If the first syllable is strong, like this one, give it the stress, and that's it. The second example is the word disaster. Disaster. So, if we have a look at the first syllable, as we said, because this is a noun, we can see that this syllable is weak. That's why we go to the second syllable, zas, in which we have the a plus the consonant sound se. So is this strong? Of course it is. Do we give it stress? Directly give it stress and move on. In this noun, the first syllable is weak with the E, short vowel E. So we go to the next syllable, which has the long vowel R, plus the consonant se. So it is strong, and give it stress because it is strong. So we have another example. Intellect. Intellect. So again, we have three syllables here. The first one starts with the with E, which is a short vowel. That's why it is weak. The second one is also weak with a schwa, but the final one is strong with a plus two consonants. So in terms of syllable weight, this is very heavy and strong. It is stronger than the two other syllables. But if you remember, we said we have a rule in dealing with nouns. Even if even if the final syllable is strong and the first and the second syllables are weak, we don't put stress on the final syllable. What do? We go back to the first syllable and give it stress even though it is weak. Now with adjectives, adjectives require the same rules of nouns. So whenever you come across an adjective and you want to stress it, follow the rules we just explained in terms of nouns. This means that stress is given to the first syllable even if the syllable is weak. Example like this one. Opportune. The first syllable is stressed, though the last one is the stronger one. The first syllable is stressed. If you want to have a look at more examples, you can refer to page 78. Okay, you will find more examples. One more note to say here is that the above rules are related to the basic parts of speech that are nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So what about function words like articles, prepositions, linking words? They are going to be explained later in another lecture. Actually, this is the end of chapter 10. I hope that this video is of use to you, and I wish you enjoy it. Okay, and see you in another lecture. Good luck, my dear students. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.